This problem created the shader just to make sure that it only has one matrix inside here. So doing one multiplication instead of the three previously. Here's the shader class, derives from shader base. The structure holds the data, and here's a buffer pointer. Creating it just sets up a simple element description, then creates the info layout, creates the description for the buffer, creates the buffer. It just sets the stuff in the base class as well as the pointer here within this specific class, sends it, takes in a pre-computed matrix with all the worldview projection that's done somewhere else, sends it to the graphics card. Here it's defined. Same result. The second one, here's 5 matrices that hold different positions. Here I first I pre-compute the view projection to save an extra many multiplications within the loop. And here, each individual is multiplied by it, and it's sent to multiple draw calls. So here's the minimal multiplication. To get the pyramid properly, I duplicated all the necessary vertices and then give them all the same texture coordinates for all the side triangles. And then the bottom quad just has the whole texture rendered over it. That's how I got the pattern to work. The cube, again, duplicated all the necessary vertices, and then made sure just that texture coordinates were right. A lot of fiddling around to get them all working based on especially going across 0.125 every half block. Made sure everything was set up properly. To encapsulate the shader, for the texture, here's the class I made. As a pointer to the texture, and then 2 individual buffers. It gets created. Essentially, I just took the code from main and put it inside here. Here sets the texture, here binds everything to the graphics pipeline, sends the matrices. So clean up the code quite a lot here. Same result. With further work, the first question was why did the cube change? So it now looks like this. It's because in the model tools, when it sets it here, it sets the texture coordinates to 0, so everything is sampling the same point on the texture. And the 512 texture, which was this one, it basically samples this point right here. So the sampler creates the kind of reddish pinkish color for it to have. Now I did some profiling to test the performance. Some of the most expensive call is definitely the render function, which basically calls draw index. So that one's more power, uses more than anything else. Pretty much the set calls, they all do base set, and things like sync the graphics card, they all do around the same. But the render call is quite potent, and you have to essentially when you have many objects, that one really slows things down because you're always having many objects in a 3D scene. The things like the setting and then the sending, those all did about the same. So minimizing that is important.